Hey y'all, I'm Angie. Welcome to my channel where I do stuff. If you're new here, thank you for joining me, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Today on Angie Does Stuff, I'm going to be making a DIY storage cabinet using all Dollar Tree products. I ordered 24 of these trinket boxes through Dollar Tree's online store and had them delivered to my house. Coming up, you'll see a list of supplies. So just to let you know, anytime you buy anything from Dollar Tree online, you're going to have to buy it in bulk. There are very few items that you can buy as singles. Almost everything has to be purchased by the case. So for instance, when I bought these, I had to buy a case of 24. Now, you can have them shipped to a store near you, or they can send them to your house. But unfortunately, UPS delivered them to my house, and they kind of destroyed the box in the process. So I ended up losing 3 of the trinket boxes in the process. And when I contacted Dollar Tree, they did refund me for the products that were destroyed. Unfortunately, since my stores here no longer have them, I can't just go buy more, and I'm not going to buy another 24 just to replace 3, if that makes any sense. So the other thing about Dollar Tree is that all of their items are made in China, and their quality control is not fantastic. So the items are not always very uniform, and sometimes they're not all perfectly square. So in a case like this, where you're building a cabinet out of multiple components, you're just going to have to eyeball it. If you try to use a ruler or a level or a square or anything, it's not going to work. So the best thing you can do is just eyeball it and make sure that everything lays flat against each other. Another trick I learned is if you use matte spray paint, it hides the imperfections that glossy paint would show. So when you have a box that is not completely square and doesn't line up exactly with the other ones, or maybe the paper isn't perfect, a matte spray paint doesn't show the inconsistency as much as glossy spray paint would. So ignore my nails. I know they're awful. I'll do them, but I've been kind of busy. So I've got all my boxes over here, and I'm dropping them all over the place, but I have 24 of these. And so what I do to prep them is I take the drawers out and I put this in one pile, and then I have to take the knobs off so they can be painted. The drawers can be painted, and these can stay silver if you want them to stay silver. I mean, it would probably save a lot of time to not have to take them off, but once I get all the knobs off, I will take all of the drawers out to my truck, and I'm going to put a drop cloth down on the tailgate, lay the drawers out, spray everything, and then bring them back in, put the knobs back on, and set them aside. And then we will assemble the boxes unpainted, and then after they're all put together, then we'll take the single unit outside, spray that as one, and then put the drawers in, and then put the liner in. So, see you in a few. So now we're going to put these together, and as I was saying, none of these are going to be a certain spec. So they're going to be very, very close in size, but they're not going to be perfect. And so there's absolutely no point in trying to make calculations or anything else. But what I'm going to do, since I don't have a full 24 at this point, is I'm going to lay these all out and figure out with the 21 that I have what configuration I want to put them in. What I'm going to do is take these one at a time, and I like the super glue gel because it's very thin, but it doesn't run like the regular super glue does, but it's not thick like the E6000, and so it allows these to stay up against each other much more flush than if there was, you know, a big thick amount of glue in between. So normally what I would do is start out with the bottom first and glue these 3 across. And then once I've glued these across, I'll use a binder clip in each spot here to hold them together. And then when I put the next one on top, the next row, I'll do them one at a time and clip them to each other like that. You also might want to look at the box and see, for instance, this one is bowed a little bit. You can kind of, you know, bend them back, and if you're going to glue one on top of it, the binder clip will pull it together and pull them flat. But you might consider taking one that's very flat and putting that on the very top of your shelves, cabinets, drawers, on top of the thing. So I got all of the drawers glued together, and they're pretty sturdy and they're not going to come apart, that's for sure. But now I am going to take all of the drawers that I painted and I'm going to put the knobs back on. If you're enjoying this so far, please drop me a like. It really helps my channel out and it gives me an idea of how I'm doing. So the next component is going to be putting the foam liner inside the drawers. You can get a pack of 32 of these from Dollar Tree in store or online. Of course, if you get it online, you're going to have to buy a case. So keep that in mind. I don't know how many drawers you plan on making. This is not the best quality foam. I have no idea what's in it. And I would not use this for long term. I would not consider this to be archival kind of quality material. So I'm doing this just for the time being until I can come up with a better plan. The main purpose is to just keep the fossils from rolling around every time I open the drawer. And it's worked so far. They do come in obnoxious colors. This is what's in the pack. But the upside to this is that the fossils show up very well on these backgrounds. So when you open the drawer and you're looking in, they're easy to look at because of this color. So you do not need to have a rotary cutter and a cutting mat to do any of this. Scissors work just fine. This is just what I happen to have, and it's easier for me to use than scissors right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out, and I'll be back. That's going to be it for today, y'all. This channel is a work in progress, obviously, but I'm so glad you made it this far. Please consider subscribing, and if you click the bell icon, then YouTube will put a notification in your playlist every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to having you with me next week when I do more stuff.